be a bit of a standoff right now as we speak over ARVs. So far, 7.5 billion shillings that has been donated by USAID. That's the funds for ARV and TB medication. But as we speak, about 1.2 billion shillings worth of drugs is still stuck at the port. So here's the issue. USAID donates to Kenya. Kenya then distributes to KEMSA. Now USAID wants to monitor the distribution. And this is why the government is tonight mulling options for the creation of a sustainable fund for the procurement of HIV/AIDS drugs in the country, following the standoff between the government of Kenya and the United States Agency for International Development, that's USAID. To allay fears of ARV interruption in the country after the diplomatic row has seen antiretroviral medication for over 1.2 million people in the country get stuck at the port since January. And as Raquel Muigai reports, the government could have worked its way in a bid to avert an ARV shortage in the country, but it is still unclear where USAID stands in its commitment to this year's donation in the HIV/AIDS program after appearing to shift the goalposts.
Kenya is still and has always been heavily reliant on billions worth of medication donation for TB, malaria, HIV and neglected tropical diseases programs. In matters HIV and AIDS treatment in the country, 3 sources of funding are in use: the government of Kenya through the Exchequer, the Global Fund that supplies medicines and health products for HIV, TB and malaria, as well as Presidential Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief PEPFAR, which is given to the country as donations through USAID.
These agreements are usually drawn at the beginning of the year. So it is a commitment that is there. It is not by chance. We usually know who is going to provide the drugs when, and we have a monthly meeting with the donors and everybody on the table.
USAID had committed 7.5 billion shillings to purchase commodities and ARVs for this year. That could sort the country's stock for 5 months. That being 5.2 million packs for the over 1.2 million people living with HIV and AIDS. The rest of the months are to be from the other sources of funding. There have always been 2 main vehicles used for importation of these commodities, according to the Ministry of Health. One being the USAID Global Health Supply Chain Program, where importation is done through a third party, and the grant aid-funded KEMSA Medical Commodities Project, what has been operationalized here in Kenya and which ended on 24th December 2020, but was extended to April of 2021. Unfortunately, despite that agreement, USAID decided to make the donation through a third party, Chemonix International, a consignment that was to arrive in the country in October 2020, doing so in January 2021. Kenya has enjoyed a good partnership with USAID for over 10 years, but the recent breach of protocol and lack of communication by the donor marked the beginning of a major standoff between the two. And despite interventions by the government, including payment of 45 million shillings in taxes, ARV medication is still stuck at the port. According to a letter dated 25th March addressed to the Principal Secretary at the Ministry of Health, USAID writes stating, KEMSA, USAID and or its contractor will jointly follow the delivery vehicles, oversee the offloading of commodities, conduct routine visits, but the letter fails to state why they changed goalposts to take over the entire process.
For being asked to provide for this private company, you have to provide for them the data. On one hand, we have the Data Protection Act. On the other hand, you have a donor who is demanding, give me the data for all the specific facilities and the people living with HIV for me to be able to distribute the drugs by myself. So we are finding ourselves into not only introducing new legal barriers, but also introducing issues that are not systematic.
An investigation report published by the Global Fund on 9th March 2021 puts the spotlight on Chemonix Limited, the private company used by USAID in procurement of their latest consignment to Kenya. Between 2017 and 2019, Chemonix, through their subcontractor Zenith Carex, defrauded Global Fund-supported programs of $3 million by systematically inflating invoices for the distribution of health commodities to warehouses and health facilities throughout Nigeria.
So that is why every country now, entire world, the one place they are investing in is their supply chain system management. They could have valid concerns, and this is the money that is coming from the American taxpayer. And of course, we have responded and said we have no problem, you can come and escort the drugs. But these concerns need to be formalized. They need to be written in a manner that is understandable.
At the moment, the country is expecting such a consignment on 18th April and another in mid-May to bridge the 5-month gap brought about by USAID.
So one of the things we have done so far is to draw a cabinet memo to bring to their attention on the need to provide an emergency grant for the procurement of those drugs. What we are worried about is whereby we start even being forced to change the law for specific donors. Today we change for America. Tomorrow are we going to change for British?
Raquel Muigai, Citizen TV.